Serbia isn't usually at the center of global discussions, and maybe that's understandable. It's a small country shaped by difficult history and often overlooked in the bigger picture of international affairs. But in a world where power is becoming more dispersed and where adaptability matters as much as strength, countries like Serbia may have more to say than we think. Let's take a closer look at why. Serbia's history is long, complex, and far too rich to be fully explored in a single video, but it offers remarkable insights. From a geopolitical standpoint, Serbia provides a distinct and valuable lens through which to view global affairs. It has experienced a wide range of geopolitical forces, making it an exceptional case study, not only in the historical sense, but also for understanding contemporary global dynamics. Its past is filled with defining moments that vividly demonstrate how geopolitics truly operates. But for now, I want to focus on one powerful recurring theme: Serbia's unwavering refusal to be subdued. While Serbia's spirit of defiance predates it, the Battle of Kosovo in 1389 stands as one of Southeastern Europe's most iconic acts of resistance. Immortalized in epic folk poetry, this moment became central to Serbian cultural identity. Passed down orally through generations, these emotionally powerful poems even caught the attention of Goethe, who saw in them a raw, authentic expression of a people's soul. He considered Serbian epic poetry a vital part of world literature. And among the many themes like heroism, fate, loyalty, the one most relevant in this video is the struggle against oppression. This theme isn't by accident. Geopolitical realities often shape a nation's destiny, including its culture and identity. Serbia, positioned squarely in the heart of Southeastern Europe, occupies a strategic location. It's no surprise then that the theme of struggle against oppression runs deep in the Serbian national psyche. Throughout history, many powerful empires have passed through this region only to be met with heavy Serbian resistance. In the 20th century alone, Serbia went toe-to-toe with the Austro-Hungarian Empire in World War I, resisted Nazi Germany in the Second World War, pushed back against both the Soviet Union and the United States during the Cold War, and faced NATO bombings to end the century. Even today, Serbia doesn't toe the line to the extent its neighbors do in the face of pressure from the collective West. And this is why Serbia has a bright future. In a multipolar world where no single power dominates, countries will naturally look for reliable, long-term partners that they can trust amid shifting alliances and competing interests. What defines this emerging multipolarity is not just the rise of China or the resurgence of Russia, but the broader fragmentation of global power. Regional players like India, Iran, Brazil, Turkey, and blocs such as BRICS or the Shanghai Cooperation Organization are all redefining global influence. And it's in this context, smaller states that demonstrate diplomatic flexibility, resilience, and independence are becoming increasingly valuable. And Serbia fits this mold. It has established strong ties with China through the Belt and Road Initiative, while maintaining cultural and strategic closeness with Russia. Simultaneously, it engages with the European Union by being an EU candidate state. It courts investments from the Gulf states and keeps diplomatic channels open with the United States. The list is long, and this ability to operate across multiple spheres without becoming fully subordinate to any of them is fast becoming a hallmark of modern strategic relevance. This leads to an even more vital point: sovereignty as a strategy. Sovereignty isn't just a political principle anymore, it's becoming a form of geopolitical capital. Nations that consistently demonstrate an ability to make independent decisions or resist external coercion and prioritize their own national interests are being revalued in the global order. Serbia, with its long-standing defiance, its non-aligned history, and its modern posture of multi-vector diplomacy, is a prime example. Even the United States, despite its historically hostile stance towards Serbia, will eventually have to withdraw from Eastern Europe, dismantle its military installations, and take a step back. However, given that Southeastern Europe remains a strategically vital region, the US will still want to protect its interests there. And who better to rely on than a nation that has consistently upheld its sovereignty and is highly unlikely to shift allegiances? In this emerging multipolar world, the US may come to see Serbia as a long-term, reliable partner, capable of safeguarding its regional interests. But at the same time, this logic applies to other major players: Russia, China, India, Iran, and the European Union, assuming the EU continues to exist in its current form. All these competing powers will view Serbia as a key actor in maintaining their foothold in southeastern Europe. And we've seen this before, nations once downtrodden suddenly turning their fortunes around when the underlying structural conditions or geopolitical realities shift. So what does this mean for the average Serbian? Well, in short, prosperity, a stronger international reputation, renewed confidence, and a sense of national pride. But at the risk of sounding too optimistic, I do want to acknowledge the darker side of all of this. If the underlying structural conditions persist, or in other words, if the US remains dominant and the unipolar world order continues as it has been since the end of the Cold War, Serbia will find itself in a far more challenging position. It will be expected to comply with all West demands, including the issue of Kosovo, fully integrate into the Euro-Atlantic system, and risk being relegated to the status of a third-tier nation within the collective West. However, in this sovereign thinker's humble opinion, the latter scenario seems unlikely. One universal point in history is that empires rise and they always fall, and at some point, this is without a doubt is going to be true for the United States. The US will eventually be forced to withdraw from Eastern Europe, and the chains that have bound Serbia will finally be broken. It's not a matter of if, but a matter of when. Serbia's story is far from over. Its future remains one to watch closely. Whatever direction the global stage takes, the outcome will once again highlight Serbia as a textbook example of how geopolitics play out. Thank you for listening. Let me know if you think Serbia has a bright future. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Please like, share and subscribe, and of course, ciao for now.